Look around you right now. Look at the objects on your desk, the layout of your room, or the device you are holding in your hand. Every single day, you wake up believing that you are the absolute master of your life. You believe your choices are entirely your own. You think, I am in control. Your mind feels like an unbreachable fortress of free will. But what if your free will is an illusion? What if a single, silent object sitting in the corner could secretly hijack your brain? What if an object could awaken a dark, aggressive, and cruel version of you you didn't even know existed? Welcome to Human Secrets. Today, we unlock a chilling and deeply profound psychological phenomenon known as the weapon effect. We explore the hidden psychology of our environment and how inanimate things possess a silent, terrifying power to manipulate human behavior without our consent. To truly understand how vulnerable we are to the physical world, we have to travel back to the year 1967. Inside a university laboratory, two brilliant psychologists, Leonard Berkowitz and LePage, conducted an experiment. The study would completely shock the scientific community and change our understanding of human nature forever. They invited 100 male college students to participate. They were told it was about physiological stress and mental performance. When each student arrived, they were paired with a partner. Unknown to them, this partner was actually an actor. The setup was engineered to be deliberately frustrating. The student was given a problem-solving task to complete. Once finished, their performance would be evaluated. But the evaluation wasn't given in grades. It was given in electric shocks. The actor was instructed to deliberately anger the students. If they did a good job, they received only one mild shock. But if told their work was pathetic, they received 7 painful shocks. Naturally, the students became furious. Their hearts raced, their faces flushed, in a state of intense humiliation and stress. They wanted revenge, and soon, they got it. For the second part of the experiment, the roles were reversed. The student was now told that they could deliver electric shocks back to the actor. They finally had the power to retaliate. But right before the retaliation began, the researchers introduced a tiny, seemingly irrelevant variable into the environment. For half of the students, the table next to the shock machine held harmless sports equipment, a badminton racket, and it looked like someone had just casually left them there. But for the other half of the students, the environment was different. On that exact same table, right next to their hand, lay a 12-gauge shotgun and a .38 caliber revolver. The researchers whispered, "Don't mind those weapons. They are just leftovers from a completely different experiment. Just ignore them." The guns were completely unloaded. They were 100% safe. They were just sitting there. Cold, silent, innocent. Then, the clock started, and the students were allowed to give the shocks. The results shocked the students with the badminton racket gave an average of 4 shocks. They were angry, but they kept a boundary. But the students with the guns, they delivered a significantly higher number of shocks, holding the button down longer. Think about that. The mere presence of the weapon had altered their morality. It had unlocked a deeper level of cruelty within them. How is this possible? Why would a piece of metal sitting on a desk change the ethical boundaries of a human being? To understand this secret of the mind, we have to look at a psychological mechanism called priming. Our brains do not store memories, concepts, or emotions in isolated, neat little boxes. Instead, your mind operates like a massive, organic, interconnected web. Every concept you know is wired to hundreds of other concepts, and when you look at any object in your environment, your brain doesn't just process its physical shape and color. It instantly, subconsciously lights up every single memory and emotion associated with that object. When those angry students saw the shotgun, their subconscious mind instantly activated the psychological network of violence. They didn't consciously think about shooting the actor, but the concept of aggression was suddenly pulled to the very front of their brains. The gun acted as a cognitive catalyst. It lowered their psychological barrier to empathy and amplified their desire to inflict pain, as Dr. Leonard Berkowitz famously summarized. The finger pulls the trigger, but the trigger may also be pulling the finger. This is the essence of the weapon effect. Objects carry emotional and psychological baggage. They are not neutral. A weapon doesn't just facilitate violence, it actually evokes violence. It triggers the brain to perceive the world as a more hostile place, and subsequently makes the human being act more hostilely. Now, it is easy to listen to this story and think, well, this is an interesting study from the 1960s, but I don't keep shotguns or revolvers on my desk, so I am perfectly safe from this kind of manipulation. But look closer at your life. In the modern world, the physical weapons may have changed, but the psychological effect remains exactly the same. Your daily environment is constantly, aggressively priming your behavior through the everyday objects you choose to surround yourself with, and you are completely blind to it. Let us think about the most powerful object in modern history: your smartphone. Your phone is no longer just a communication tool. To your subconscious brain, that little rectangle of glass and metal is an object, deeply primed with the concepts of instant gratification, social comparison, validation, and anxiety. Neurological studies have shown that when a smartphone is sitting on a desk next to you, even if it is turned completely off, even if it is face down, your brain's cognitive capacity drops. Why? Because a part of your subconscious mind is constantly spending mental energy just to resist checking it. Its mere presence primes your brain for distraction. It whispers to your mind that there is something more exciting or something more terrifying happening somewhere else. It keeps you in a perpetual state of low-level anxiety and splits your attention span into pieces. Now, look at the wider architecture of your home or your workspace. If you live and work in a room that is chaotic, cluttered, and messy, with unmade beds, old coffee cups, and trash lying around, what is that environment priming your brain for? It is priming your mind for chaotic, disorganized, and undisciplined thoughts. It lowers your threshold for frustration. It makes you more likely to procrastinate, because your brain looks at the environment and concludes, this is a place of neglect and disorder. Conversely, consider the objects of comfort. If you try to work while sitting on a soft, deeply cushioned couch, your brain struggles to focus. Why? Because that couch is heavily primed with the concepts of sleep, relaxation, and entertainment. You are forcing your conscious mind to fight against the silent command of the object you are sitting on. We like to think that we design our environments to serve us, but the hidden truth is, once the environment is built, it turns around and designs us. The ultimate secret of human behavior is that we are not separate from the world we inhabit. We are deeply porous creatures. We absorb the energy and the triggers of the things around us. These objects are active participants in your psychological state. They whisper silent instructions to your subconscious mind every second. Take a moment today to truly look around your room or office. Conduct your own audit. Ask yourself, what are the objects on your desk priming you for? Are they triggering focus or your anxiety? Are they whispering peace into your mind? Or are they fueling your internal aggression and restlessness? Environment is stronger than willpower. If you want to change, stop trying to fix your mind through sheer willpower. Clean the desk. Hide the distractions. Surround yourself with objects that prime you for the person you wish to become. Master the silent secrets of the things around you. Sometimes, the truest way to master your own mind is to first master the space you inhabit. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to Human Secrets. What object has been secretly controlling you? Leave a comment below. Stay aware.